Okay, lesson 6, video part 1. So there's two parts to this one. The first one I'll just go through the PowerPoint, so it'll give you some commentary. Second one is where I'll look at the CD and apply some of the analysis to a CD, and then you can do it to yours. So on slide 1, just gives you an idea of where you should be up to. So it just recaps the context sheet. Should be done now. If you've not sent it to me, make sure you send it. Your initial thoughts, again, if you've not sent those, try and get those to me so I've got a record of them. And then you should be part way through your product analysis of a CD, which I went through on Tuesday's lesson. So the couple of examples, there's your context sheets where you're investigating the context teenage lifestyles. You've got the problem, the client, and the initial plan. Then you've got your initial thoughts where you're looking at having a go at designing some solutions to it. It should flag up some problems, things you don't know, and then you can write an initial research plan, which is here down at the bottom. And then we've then got the product analysis that you started last lesson. So we looked at function, aesthetics, information, dimensions, and scale of production connected with this with a CD, not this particular one. So you should have got some pictures of a CD and drop them in as well, and you should have the annotations there. If you haven't got PowerPoint, then you just need to be typing these annotations up in Word, and then if you then eventually email me the Word files or in an email for that matter, and I'll drop them in for you and then send you a PDF as a copy for your records. So we'll try and work around that. So the lesson aims are here. So we've got, again, you've got to be clear on the assessment criteria for section A. Then we're looking at a detailed product analysis, so it's in a continuation. On the PowerPoint I've sent you, there's this slide relating to your structure of your annotations. On the left-hand side, there's sentence starters here to help you. So for instance, today, if we're looking at manufacturing, you could start off with, and you're looking at, for instance, over here, if you're looking at printing methods, you could say the product has been printed using, and then you fill in the gap. So it could be offset lithography or flexography. And then we say because, and then you give me a reason or a suggestion. Now, normally that will be the advantages of using that printing process, which you need to do a bit of research for. So if I do another one, so it could be, for instance, the product has been made from, and then we'd say the specific material, not just plastic. So it could be a particular type of plastic, which we've got to research, and then you say why, and then that will be the properties of that material. So moving on, you've also got these, which are terminology you can use. Make sure you've got correct spelling, things like that. So if we were looking at manufacturing, there's all the printing processes there, like offset, flexography, screen printing, and we've got things like CMYK. If we're looking at materials, you've got things like up here, like solid whiteboard, or thermoplastic, like polypropylene or acrylic. So we're going to look at those related to our CD. This is where we're up to. The grey ones are the ones we covered last lesson. The yellow ones are the ones we want to be covering today. And then there are spaces for you to try and get some diagrams in there as well about printing processes or manufacturing processes, and then the materials. Well, you can get them from the website that I've given you a link for. So there's quite a lot involved in this one on your behalf. So you've got materials to comment upon. There are 2 links here. So the main ones it's mainly made from plastic and board. So if you click on these links, it'll take you. You just need to investigate which is the suitable one. There's another video where I've talked through which I think it would be. So you're looking for the specific material and the reasons why that might be used on there. So we've got materials, things for you to think about. Then you've got the big section. This is a deal breaker, which I've written on the top there. This is where you've got to do a bit of research, that technical knowledge of how it could be industrially produced. So I've broken them down into sections. So the first section here, where the cursor is floating, you've got printing, methods of printing. So we've got links here to help you. So we want to know which method of printing is used. We want to know what methods of printing are used for the CD as well. So I'll give you some hyperlinks to give you some clues there. Then you've got the colours used. It's a tricky one, this one really, but I've given you a link to CMYK. On that page, it gives you an outline of spot colours as well. So click on that link. Then we've got, for this particular section, about construction. So that's how it's been cut, folded, put together, stapled. So there are 2 links here to give you a clue on those. And then down at the bottom, you've got manufacturing. That relates to the plastic. So how is the plastic turned from granules into the shape of the outer CD on the side? So you can investigate that particular process there. Moving on, we've then got this one. It's a tricky one: social, cultural, and environmental issues on here. So socially, are there you know, what are the benefits of this CD in terms of people, there's an emotive connection with listening to music as well, different types of genres of music, put you in different types of moods. Also, you've got the cultural reference in there, so there could be some imagery on your CD that you've chosen which has a cultural reference that you might want to talk about. You've also got the environmental one as well, which is the easier of the three to comment upon. So the environmental impact on there, I've given you some links here. That's the one I've focused on mainly on here because I can't see your CDs. So you've got things like the specific environmentally friendly logos on there. And then you've got, related to your 6 hours, I've got 3 of them there. You know, can the product be reused time and time again? Can you reduce the amount of packaging needed? So, you know, we've now seen with technology moving on, we've got streaming services, so you don't actually need the CDs anymore, so we can eradicate them, even though some people still like to buy CDs and buy albums as well. And then you got, can it be recycled? So both materials can be recycled on there, even though the plastic is a non-renewable material. So there's some questions on the right hand side to comment upon as well. So you got things like the that's a good one, the top one there, the advisory stickers, parental advisory sticker. So if you choose a genre of music where there might be swearing on the lyrics, they normally come with a little sticker to warn parents or consumers that there's going to be some explicit language taking place in there, so they can choose whether or not they can buy it or they're not going to buy it. So just try and be as detailed and perceptive as you possibly can, giving some thought to the social or cultural or environmental implications of the product on there. And it should start to look like this. So you can see, I'm not saying this is a really good one, a detailed one, but we've got our pictures, we've got each of the topics we're annotating, giving a suggestion why. And then we've got some pictures of the suitable materials. So we've got a picture of solid whiteboard for this one. You've got die cutting and you've got offset lithography on here. So there are other ones like injection molding you can get on there potentially. So try and get some diagrams to fill any of the white spaces because we want it to have a concise look. So you're maximising that space that you've got on there. Okay. Any problems, make sure you email me.